Are you ready for one of the biggest upsets to ever strike professional women's basketball? What happened last night was not just a regular season game. It was a tactical masterclass and a real-life drama that transcends any scripted scenario you might see in a high-budget sports documentary. The Indiana Fever, the franchise that continues to rewrite the history books, completely dismantled the defending champion Las Vegas Aces in a crushing blowout, winning by a staggering margin of 84-68. Yes, you heard those numbers correctly. Total control. A brutal humiliation right there on the hardwood that sent the reigning champions spiraling into frustration. But hold on, take a deep breath, because that is not even the craziest part of this unfolding narrative. The part that will force you to question everything about the current landscape of this league is that this historic victory happened with franchise-altering names absent from the floor. The Las Vegas Aces were missing their MVP, A'ja Wilson. And more importantly, for the Indiana Fever, they were completely missing their floor general, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, the face of the franchise, who has proven to be the undisputed mastermind and the beating heart of this team, was not on the floor to distribute her signature magical passes or launch her momentum-shifting logo threes. Yet, somehow, even without their offensive engine, the Indiana Fever mutated into an unstoppable beast. It was as if Clark's legendary winning spirit and unparalleled basketball IQ had seeped directly into the veins of every player on that bench. Her absence was supposed to be a glaring weakness for the Aces to exploit. But instead, it turned into a nightmare for Las Vegas as the rest of the Fever roster stepped up in a way nobody saw coming.
Nearly walks away with this game, nearly beating the Las Vegas Aces by dub. I still don't believe this game is going to give them any justice for as how bad Stephanie White is as a coach. It's great to see them getting wins. It's great to see the team kind of gelling, but I'm already knowing what the media is finna say. The media is going to have a field day basically saying that the Indiana Fever is only winning because Caitlin Clark is not playing, and that is furthest from the truth. Las Vegas Aces are a very good basketball team, but...
And what made matters even worse, elevating this game into a public controversy is exactly what transpired after the final buzzer sounded. This wasn't just a tough loss. It was a disaster that led to a tactical nervous breakdown and some of the most fiery post-game statements we have ever heard. Becky Hammon, the legendary and usually stoic head coach of the Las Vegas Aces, could not contain herself during the post-game press conference. She looked shattered, visibly angry, and totally lost for answers. And then Hammon used one word that instantly changed the entire tone of the press conference: cheating. But what she meant by that word reveals a much bigger problem for Las Vegas. How did we get to this breaking point? How did the Indiana Fever so thoroughly destroy the pride of the Las Vegas Aces? Let's dive deep into this historic night filled with unmatched drama, heartbreaking disappointment, and post-game quotes that will undoubtedly dominate the headlines for weeks to come. When we meticulously break down the intricate details of this basketball epic, we have to stop and pay our respects to the monstrous performance of a player who proved she is a force of nature in the paint. We are talking about Aaliyah Boston. What Aaliyah did in this game was a masterclass against the Las Vegas defense. She bullied her way to 18 points and grabbed 10 rebounds, walking away from this matchup with a dominant double-double. But Boston didn't just limit her dominance to the painted area. She shocked the entire arena, and especially the Aces' defense, which looked helpless, by stepping outside the arc and draining 3 separate three-point shots on just 4 attempts. Can you even comprehend that? A dominant center with the size and physicality of Aaliyah Boston stepping out to the perimeter and launching precision missiles with a 75% success rate. This evolution in her offensive arsenal makes the Indiana Fever a matchup nightmare. Boston has become a walking cheat code, and adding a deadly three-point shot to her bag of tricks means that opposing defenses will be shredded apart trying to cover the floor. You simply cannot leave her open, but if you press up, she will destroy you inside.
Aaliyah Boston stands out with this one with a double-double. She played a total of 31 minutes, 18 points. She was 7 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. Shout out to Aaliyah Boston, man. She's getting into that three-point shooting, into her toolbox, and it's actually working out great for her because that's another threat for them, having another three-point shooter that can shoot 90% from 3. at any given moment. She walks away with this game with 10.
And we cannot talk about this execution without praising the primary scorer of the night, Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey was not just playing a basketball game. She operated like a cold-blooded scoring machine. She rained fire on the Las Vegas basket, dropping 27 points. She was moving around the court like a phantom that the Aces defenders simply could not catch. She slashed through the defense with blistering speed, hit contested mid-range jumpers, and utilized her elite basketball IQ to draw fouls, sinking 10 out of 12 attempts from the free throw line. Add to that 3 crucial assists and a momentum-shifting defensive block. Kelsey Mitchell put the offensive load on her shoulders in the absence of the franchise superstar, Caitlin Clark. She proved to the world that the Indiana Fever is not just a one-star show. They are a fully equipped execution squad. Alongside her, Lexi Hull delivered a fiercely competitive performance, playing 22 grueling minutes, scoring 10 points, and grabbing 4 rebounds, acting as the unsung hero who relentlessly exhausted the Aces' wings. On the other side of the floor, the scene was apocalyptic for the Las Vegas Aces. The team that is so accustomed to effortlessly steamrolling their opponents looked like a disorganized group of amateurs lost in the bright lights. Their defense was porous and easily penetrated. Their offense looked stagnant, predictable, and sterile. Worst of all, their fighting spirit seemed non-existent. They were demolished in the rebounding battle, a glaring statistic that highlights just how desperately they lacked energy, hustle, and the fundamental desire to win the basketball game.
They're out there balling out. Now, Leah Boston, here's some of the highlights from the game of Leah.
Down low, misses on the first attempt, and then blows by to the left side. And that the harassment and the hate, Debbie, is not okay, whether it's directed at her or are out tonight, and as much as they miss them and would love to have them on the floor, there are opportunities for other players to stay. They're playing their 4th game in 8 days.
Cheyenne Parker-Tyus only played 7 minutes in that first half.
This brings us to the crucial turning point that elevates the Indiana Fever from just a great basketball team into an unprecedented cultural and sports phenomenon. This isn't just about the 5 players on the hardwood. This is about the fans, the unstoppable army that marches behind this team wherever they go. Fever Nation is no longer just a fan base. They have become a hostile force that takes over arenas in every single state across the country. Sophie Cunningham perfectly summarized this madness in her post-game interview with a quote that gave every listener chills. She stated, clear as day, that she genuinely believes Indiana has the best fan base in the entire world. She then dropped a line that encapsulates the terror opposing teams feel. Wherever we go, it's a home game for us. Imagine the suffocating psychological pressure that puts on the host teams. The Las Vegas Aces were playing in their own multi-million-dollar arena, yet they looked and felt like total strangers. The crowd was roaring for the Fever. The colors in the stands heavily favored Indiana, and the total energy in the building was hijacked by the visiting squad. This is a sports revolution, guided by the steady presence of Caitlin Clark, even when she is restricted to the sidelines, and executed flawlessly by a roster of hungry, relentless stars like Boston and Mitchell.
Put up for you guys real quick, and let's see.
We saw you guys pregame, Sophie, and pretty much everywhere you guys go, right? Fever Nation is supporting you, and you guys are giving it back. What's it like to have this kind of environment everywhere you're going, even when you're away from home?
Man, I know a lot of teams say that every game is a home game. Sorry, I was just saying if we got that charge call or not. We didn't. But I really do believe that. I think Fever, we have the best fans in the W. Worldwide, I really think. Wherever we go, it's a home game for us. And so we just try to put on, work hard, play hard.
Now, brace yourselves, because we are about to enter the most dramatic and controversial moment of this entire basketball evening. The post-game press conference with head coach Becky Hammon. Becky, widely considered to be one of the greatest tactical minds in the history of the sport, sat down in front of the flashing cameras with the heavy burden of defeat written all over her face. The raw emotion and the utter disbelief were palpable. She was searching for excuses, grasping at straws to justify this humiliating collapse of her championship-caliber roster. She admitted, with a painful level of honesty, that her team simply ran out of gas. She confessed they looked exhausted, fatigued, and incapable of finding the energy required to sprint through screens or execute basic offensive sets. She highlighted the catastrophic collapse in the third quarter, noting how the Indiana Fever, the fastest-paced team in the entire league, ruthlessly exploited every missed shot and lazy turnover to launch fast breaks that left the Aces players gasping for air and chasing shadows. But the quote that truly set the sports media world on fire had not even been spoken yet. Becky Hammon, in an emotional attempt to explain her team's immense struggles without their superstar A'ja Wilson, dropped a bombshell.
Battle there. What did you see in the second half?
Boards definitely hurt us, but I thought we, quite frankly, ran out of gas. So we looked tired. Couldn't muster up enough energy to sprint into screens offensively. But the O boards definitely hurt us in the third quarter. Gets to be a compounding effect when you're not getting stops or they're getting second, third, fourth opportunities. It's just super deflating. So we got a couple days here to rest and regroup. And
Hammon stated that the absence of A'ja Wilson doesn't just mean losing 28 points and 10 rebounds a night. It means losing the gravitational pull that A'ja creates on the floor, the sheer presence that naturally opens up spaces for the rest of the roster. And then, right there in front of the microphones, she uttered that word. She claimed that opposing players are now cheating on defense, deliberately ignoring certain Las Vegas players to heavily double and trap others. Yes, you heard that right. She specifically used the phrase, cheating off some players. Now, in standard basketball terminology, sagging off a weak shooter to provide help defense is just a basic, fundamental tactic. But for a coach with the immense pedigree of Becky Hammon to sit in a press conference after suffering a 16-point blowout and use the word cheating to describe how teams defend them, that is undeniable proof of the psychological damage, frustration, and total tactical breakdown that the Las Vegas Aces are currently experiencing. She felt targeted, she felt things were unfair, but the harsh reality she was desperately trying to avoid is that the Indiana Fever simply outclassed them in every single aspect of the game. They were faster, they were vastly more physical, they were tactically superior, and they wanted the victory more than Las Vegas did.
basketball games. I mean, we've had to play small a little bit more. We've had to scrap, but it's not just A'ja's points, it's her gravity, it's her pull, it's how she gets, her presence gets other people open. And so now, you know, we're in a lot of situations where people are just really cheating off some players, and it's hard to play like that. So we have to do a better job of just finding space, moving the ball, and letting things find us on the third and fourth sides. We're not getting the ball to the second side or third side offensively, and it really kind of bogs us down.
A question about the lineups. Shuffle a bit today.
What we all witnessed tonight was not just another game on the schedule. What we watched was a loud, official declaration that the balance of power in this league has violently shifted. The Indiana Fever just sent a chilling warning to every franchise in the association. We are not here to just compete. We are here to absolutely dominate. Whether they are being led on the court by their franchise superstar, whose elite vision terrifies defenses, or even when they are missing her completely, this team possesses a level of depth, ferocity, and crowd support that makes them heavily favored to crush anyone who dares to stand in their way. The Las Vegas Aces are going to need a miracle to recover from this psychological trauma before they even begin to fix the tactical issues. Becky Hammon's quote will haunt her, and the sports media is going to tear this team apart for days to come. Was she just looking for a convenient scapegoat to mask her failure to stop Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell? Or is the pressure of being the hunted finally causing the champions to crack? The coming days will reveal everything, but one thing is certain right now. The Indiana Fever is the ultimate nightmare, and the rest of the league is not waking up anytime soon.